Hello, this is week number 30 for kindergarten music, and we're getting close to the end of the school year. We've been doing a lot of things, and it's rainy outside, and it's getting to be close to almost first grade. So today I want to show you a little video that talks about how music is all over us. It's outside in our life, it's in nature, it's inside. There's just lots of fun things that have to do with music that is just a little reminder of how important it is and how much it's part of our life, whether we even realize it or not. Music is everywhere.
Music is everywhere. It is in the sound of the wind, the singing of birds, the patter of rain. All of these sounds are parts of nature's music. People make music by singing or by playing musical instruments. Someone who has learned to sing or to play an instrument well is called a musician. There are many kinds of musicians. Many kinds of instruments. Many kinds of music. Music can sound happy. Or it can sound sad. It can sound exciting. Or it can sound peaceful. It can sound serious. or it can sound silly. Music can sound as many different ways as you can feel. Sometimes music tells a story. Sometimes music is just interesting sound. Sometimes music makes you want to jump up and dance. Sometimes it makes you want to sit quietly and listen. Music can sound like almost anything you can imagine. Making up music is called composing. The person who makes up the music is called the composer. The composer writes down musical ideas using musical pictures called notes. There are high notes, low notes, everywhere in between notes. Every note stands for a certain musical sound. When composing a piece of music, the composer must think of many things. First, the composer must find a certain arrangement of notes to form the music's melody. The melody is the most familiar part of the music, the part you can hum. Next, the composer may add some other notes that go with the melody. These notes are called the harmony. Then the composer must give the music rhythm. Rhythm is the way the music moves and flows. Like the ticking of a clock, the music must have a steady beat. Like the beating of your heart, some of the beats may be stronger than others. The composer still has other important choices to make. Should the music be fast or slow? Or somewhere in between? The speed at which the music is played is called its tempo. Should the music be loud or soft? Or somewhere in between? The loudness of the music is called its dynamics. Finally, the composer must decide which instruments will play which parts of the music. This gives the music its tone color. The same music can sound very different played on different instruments. All of these choices must be made very carefully if the music is to turn out just as the composer wants it to. The composer has the most choices when the music is for an orchestra with its...
So that's all we're going to talk about for this part of the video today, because it just shows us, it showed us that music is in nature, in different things around us. But when you start to think about music and you start to be a composer, like you were last week when you were doing your yellow and blue composition, you have ideas to decide. You had to decide if you wanted the whole top row to be yellow, if you wanted the bottom row to be blue, if you wanted to make a pattern, or if you wanted it to be totally just throw a bunch of things together and there was no pattern, but it was different because you were the composer and you made the decisions. If we went a little farther, you might have to write some lyrics or words to it. I think you needed to come up with a title for your song, and you showed me that in our Zoom call. And if we were going to choose instruments, if you wanted a flute to play your song, if you wanted a trombone to play your song, if you wanted a whole bunch of instruments at the same time, or if you wanted just one person to play or perform your song for you. So there's a lot of decisions that a composer has to make. And you did that when you did your yellow and blue song last week, and you called it TT. And so that is a little tiny movie that tells you a little bit about music, how it's so important, and it's so much a part of our lives, but you don't always notice it. It's sometimes if you're watching a TV show, it's on the background, or if you go to a movie, and you're listening, you don't even realize you're paying attention to the story, but you don't even realize there's some music that somebody put behind that to help you. If it's supposed to be kind of a scary part of a movie, the music might sound scary. If it's a happy part of the movie, then the composer wrote music that was happy. So music is pretty important, and it's a very big part of our lives. And that was a little video that showed you some of the reminders of it and how we put it together. And I think hopefully you saw the quarter notes that are our tas, and 2/8 notes that they talked about, and those are TTs. They didn't really talk about tas and TTs, but they showed you that is part of the music. So have a great week. There's no assignment for this week, but enjoy the beautiful weather. Hopefully it's going to get a little bit nicer. Bye.